So our design, we started off with the base, which was the table, and then this would be our fan. And then we planned for the solution to be here in a container. And we also planned for a rod. Initially we planned for a rod. And then around the rod we would put the wands. And they would spin on an axle. And then the wind of the fan would be blowing on it and then to make bubbles. We then changed our design and we went with more things on the side to hold up the bubbles. We had a wall here, and then we had another wall here, and then between the walls we had circles, and then a rod was placed in between, and then on the rod we also had a straw, and then a box was on the straw, or a styrofoam. What's that called? Styrofoam block. Yeah. And then we put on the wands on there, and then they would also be spinning using the fan, but the fan would be facing the other direction. The fan would be right here. And then that way the wands would be floating and then spinning around, and then as the fan moved the wands, the bubbles would be flying.
So this is our budget for all the materials. Everything with a zero: the foam block, the hot glue gun, the fan, the dish soap, the cornstarch, plastic containers, and the baking soda were all pre-owned. The wooden blocks we got from the scrap pile from the craft center. The bubble wands were $4. The plastic straws were $6. The glycerin was $10. The metal rod was $2, and all the stuff plus our poster came out to about $26.28.
So this is the solution we used for our bubble machine. We did research online to find out what the best ingredients and the ratios would be for making the solution, and we found these ingredients: 3 cups of water, 1/4 cup of dish soap, 1/4 cup of cornstarch, 1/2 tablespoon of baking powder, and 1/2 tablespoon of glycerin. And then we cut the recipe we found online in half, and we discovered that the ratio we used with these parts is the best one that worked for our machine.
So this was our original design, and when we first started designing it, we hit some problems. The fan would not spin around these wands because I had nothing to catch onto. So what we did was, on this design, we added some fins right here on the straw, which were actually the same design as a windmill. We made it out of cardboard. So the fan would catch on to these fins and spin around easier. So another problem that we hit, the bubble wands in this container we're hitting the container and we're not spinning around. So what we did was cut the container at an angle like this. You cut this part out of the container in order for the bubble wands to be able to spin through it. So that actually caused another problem. The solution wouldn't fill all the way up in the container. Another problem that we hit was when we used a less powerful fan, there wasn't enough power for the wands to spin around. So we ended up using a fan that spun faster and had more power. We still had to push the structure right here with one of the wands to get it going, even at FEDD. So this was because the weight of these wands wasn't distributed evenly around the styrofoam block.